don't have to look at it though. That's for you there. So you just want to hold that pretty close.
Oh, you have to hold it up.
Okay, sweet. We're live, so you can leave that down there. You don't have to say anything too incriminating. Thank you. There you go. They don't have a button anymore, Angus. You just
These ones do.
No, for the to go live.
Oh, you're just on?
Yeah,
Wow.
we're on. Oh. All right.
But it does look good with the light.
Do you want to hold this up?
Yeah, you can hold it. It's just so you know we're live in case you're going to say anything incriminating. All right. That's not coming. Can you hear me? Because I'm not plugged in. This is about professional as it gets.
Don't worry, I'm on that level.
I'll kick. No, you're very professional. Hold on. So you want to intro it? It's working. We're all coming through.
All right, guys, welcome to episode 158. Today with another one of my degenerate co-workers, Sean Mcguinness. Been a long time coming. Welcome to the show.
Thanks very much. Good to be here.
So Sean identifies as a fat loss coach because you can't just be a PT these days. So that's his unique selling point.
Just bring
I
it
guess.
right in there, mate. Yeah, that's it.
Now, I guess, I don't know, sort of the angle I wanted to take on this episode is like, when I first became a PT, I know I knew all the right things to say as far as getting a fat loss result. Thought I was going to come up to the city and just start fucking carving up, telling everyone eat less, move more, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I watched all these other coaches basically get sick results. Why I reckon I helped anyone achieve any fat loss in my first year of PT. So once you know that a calorie deficit and increasing your activity levels is the way to go, how do you actually fucking convince people to follow the protocol?
That's the magic question.
Yeah.
That is the magic question. Sorry, I'm just going to check this.
Like a lot of people that get results, you'll see unbelievable transformations, but you're obviously maybe 1 in 10 clients, you're just going to get a robot that just comes in and does absolutely everything. Kind of that physique, same way. The people that get on stage.
Yeah, all the prep coaches get consistently sick results.
And then you start to go up to people that actually have real jobs with families and responsibilities, and then you're like, wow, this is a different ball game.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So there's loads of different trains of thought. When you look at habits, it's like it takes a long time to change one habit. Say on average 66 days, and they did that study, and it's like obviously the complexity of the habit is different. That's going to take longer. And then we look at us as coaches. When we first start, we'll get someone in and say, you need to eat protein for breakfast, veggies every meal. We're giving them all these different habits. And they've seen when you give someone more than 2 habits, the rate of failure goes up by like 70-80%.
Because that's it, cleaning up your diet, like you just touched on that. Yeah, it's actually not one habit that you're trying to change. It's a series of fucked up things. Much like there's, one healthy meal doesn't make you healthy, one unhealthy meal doesn't make you unhealthy. It's about managing all those things cumulatively. So what sort of like day one, you've just got someone who's had literally, like let's say they grew up in an obese household, so they have no idea or conceptualization of what it even means to eat healthy. They eat fast food every meal. They're not drinking any water. Their sleep shit. What's literal like first domino to knock over?
And that's a good to look at, because we obviously hear like all this info, but we don't differentiate whether it's for a beginner, whether it's for intermediate, whether it's for advanced. And most beginners are taking on advanced information when they should eat all these.
Because they'll follow someone who has a sexy rig, to get all their info.
Yeah.
Someone who's
We've all done that.
Yeah.
And
I did it with Ziz.
Yeah.
Like I did that when I was doing Ironman stuff.
Yeah, true.
It's so silly.
And I used to, like, as Luke Tulloch said, I was in the same path as him when I first started as a coach, so I kind of cringe at all the stuff I used to say to clients. But I suppose when you have a beginner starting off, it's just looking at what's the low-hanging fruit that is going to give you the biggest result, and that's going to cause the least amount of kind of change to that person's life. Because when you can cause that, it's going to be easier for them to carry out. So it's a combination. If you get someone that eats shit, it's easy to find a few hundred calories within that person's day where you can just lean back on, where you can cut back. Example, if you're having Ben and Jerry's every day, okay, cool, have a Halo top. And what my fault, what I used to go was I'd get that person in, and then I tell them, you need to eat vegetables every meal. You need to do this absolutely perfect. I used to follow, like, when I first started, was the Poliquin days.
So you're eating meat and nuts.
Earn your carbs, meat and nuts breakfast, spike serotonin, never get depressed.
I was getting absolute beginners in that eating shit. And had no concept of like calories or anything, and it was telling them to eat meat for breakfast. Now, in fairness, the ones that did obviously got unbelievable results.
I was about to say, you will get fucking. That's the thing. You will get those crazy people who are just willing to flip the switch. Yeah, it's like that person who's been at wit's end.
But I suppose, for that beginner, as much as there's calories, this, that, I kind of think that's overdone a little bit. But for this person, that's definitely. So you can save a few hundred calories each meal without completely sending them from 0 to 100.
Yeah. Well, even if people are eating the whole tub, you just like eat half.
Yeah.
Like, and then they'll count the calories that way.
Yeah.
See, is there something to be said though for just being able to demolish a whole tub of something?
Yeah.
I feel like that's where the Halo top does come in.
That's a
handy.
good point.
Sometimes you don't want to stop halfway, and with Halo top, you don't necessarily have to have that.
Or buy individual packaging.
Yeah. Well, where are you? Where are you?
Oh,
at with
actually,
So-
lower
no.
cal
Sorry if you
options?
like the environment.
When you get someone in, obviously, you start to, if someone's eating lots of shift food each day, their tolerance for shift food is really high. So they obviously need more of that to get the same effect. It's the same with caffeine. As PTs, our tolerance is probably through the roof. Angus over here just drinks pre-workout for like dinner.
So much coffee. How do you sleep?
Because I come from such a sleep-deprived past, that's never
Yeah.
been an issue. Now that I'm living close to work and getting close to 8 hours a night, I'm curious as to see whether or not my caffeine intake will prove to be problematic. But because I'm so desensitized to it generally now, I think I should be sweet.
That's another thing entirely. But it's like
Some we should talk
looking
about
at
too.
that. No, looking at the tolerance. So that person, if we might get a big dopamine effect of say one chocolate bar. If someone's doing it over and over and over, the receptors in your brain downgrade, so you need more of that to elicit the same effect. So you get someone that's eating shit all day, and you can't necessarily go from shift food to completely like healthy food because it's going to taste like cardboard because they don't have any dopamine receptors in their
You'll
brain.
be sad.
So you slowly have to transition them. Can you save a few hundred calories each day while giving them still a little bit of food reward? Not too much where they're going to overeat, but still, and then over time, as those receptors regenerate, that's a long-term goal. You can start to go a bit more optimal in the future.
I like what you just touched on there about like that dopamine hit, because like I think one of the reasons I've struggled to help people in the past is that by taking away food from them, you're taking away one of their main sources of pleasure in their life. And I feel like if I don't have something to hand back to them that they can like get into, like a hobby or something that, like you're just literally taking away this person's happiness. It'll make them live longer, but they're just fucking sad all the time. So do you ever sort of try to give people substitutes? Maybe for something like that, like getting into a hobby or something like that? Or is it just one of those things where you got to take the hit eventually and you will start to derive pleasure from food again at a certain point?
And that's the harder thing. Like obviously us being maybe under 30, we're coaching people who are in 40s and 50s and these have unbelievable jobs who can afford the luxury. And now we're trying to be their life coach straight away.
Yeah.
So it's a process of actually give them a little bit of food reward. You can't take that away completely because they're the people that will stick to it for a few weeks, but then when stress hits and when they naturally emotionally eat, that's going to come back stronger than ever. So you have to leave a bit in turn, eventually long term, again, look at what else can we do that's going to give them, upregulate the good chemicals in the brain that they're trying to fill a void with. So for example, if someone is an emotional stress eater, they've had a long day at work, that probably a shit day for most people. Those good chemicals in the brain are down. The easiest thing to pick that up is through food, what they've learned. However, we can kind of break that cycle as if we can, as trainers, maybe get them into exercise after work. That will increase endorphins. If they've set themselves the goal of something, they tick it off, you get a dopamine hit from that. They're less likely to fill that void through food after. So it's kind of doing both. And that's more than like a 12-week transformation thing. That's like proper dealing with people on long term. And it's like, okay, I put some transformations up there where they might lose 20 kilos in 12 weeks. But I also have people where it's taken me a year just to actually get like a few habits in check.
Well, it's so hard. And just you're going through the list then, and I'm thinking, like you said, replacing that food and that positive effect post-work with exercise. But people come at you already with so many excuses. And legitimate ones, especially with our clientele working in the city. Like sometimes they've got to stay back. If everyone put food on the table and keep their job, they've got to stay back. But it sounds like do you have, like everyone does, but you're sort of specific to fat loss, those clients that they just lose like a few kg, and then in the end you are doing them good by still making sure they come to the gym, or you just sort of will kick them out and say, no, I can't help you.
No, clients. Shawnee loves it.
There's days where I wake up and if someone hasn't got a result, I go, Jesus, it's a natural reaction.
Correct.
Because you actually care, you're empathetic towards that person. But I always come back on myself as like, right, if they're not getting a result, it's my fault.
Yeah.
And it's a harder thing to do because it's your ego's big ego. You've got a few good results.
For sure.
And then suddenly you get someone in, you can't get a kilo off them. So again, you have to look at, okay, what tools have I not applied to this person? For some people, it's a matter that, like you said, they might be busy, they might be naturally more resistant personality to change. So you actually, instead of dictating, that's when it comes like that coach-centered care, client-centered care, sorry. So you actually ask them, all right, what's realistic for you to change?
Yeah.
What do you think?
Just
I've tried mine.
out.
Let's have a convo here. And that's the hard bit. It's like, we want to come in and train people hard, but the actual hard bit as PTs is saying, okay, and we're going to cut our session 20 minutes short today, and we're going to have a sit down and see what the F's going on.
And they have some love it, but then they'll just be like in one ear out the other.
Especially once you've tried like your fifth intervention or like fifth approach with them. It's much the same with like pain recovery and things like that. Like the more and more times you swing and miss, like that sense of hope starts to sort of dwindle as well, that something's going to stick.
Yeah, it's trying to keep them in the game long enough.
Yeah.
Because they're paying you. They're saying, look, I'm paying you. Where's my result?
Yeah.
And this is 6 months in, and it might be the 1 in 10 client that isn't getting results. So the hard bit as PT is actually, you've done maybe 8 sessions that day. The last thing you want to do is sit down with someone really and like go over this stuff, the boring stuff, but it will make the most effect. Because again, if we train someone 4 or 5 times a week, that's only 1% of that person's week. And we're seeing them. And what can we do to put in place that's going to change all the stuff outside of that session, which is the hard bit.
See, I'm quite lucky. Like, so I get so many clients come to me that are already pretty fit. And the ones that come to me and they say, look, I do want to lose weight. And I say, I can guarantee you a certain amount of strength gain. I can guarantee you a certain fitness level and you're going to feel better. I can help you with weight loss, but in the end, it's going to be on you. So I put it back on them and say, I'll guide them. Yeah. But
there are also pretty successful people who've sort of responded to that their whole life.
True.
Actually, to be fair, but that does seem sort of like the real split crowd. Once you get up those like highly successful corporates, they're either the people that are super fit already because they're so damn switched on in every single area of their life, or they're the ultimate compensators where they've just sacrificed every shred of health just to like provide a great wage for their family. Just racked to fill the void.
And Andy Ruiz died.
Yeah, that was heavy. Were you much of a Joshua supporter?
I like him.
Yeah. I like him more now that he's back in the winning column.
I don't want to see a third fight.
Ruiz did everyone dirty.
I don't want to see a third
He was such a people's champ.
There's no third fight. That's it.
That's done.
But what were we saying?
I was just talking about how.
Well, what you mentioned was actually good in the fact that you set the expectations from the start. I think a lot of people come in, especially when they're doing it on their own, and they have unrealistic expectations. And then
thanks F45 8-week fucking challenges.
Angus
sharing all those photos.
L4 and 5. That's the best call for that.
Did you actually come up with that?
I did. Yeah, I was really happy. Like, that was the
respect.
first I used to was like,
that's funny.
Yeah,
for those that haven't heard before, L4 5. The region you're backed up. Most people normally blow a disc out when they do those group training.
Yeah, it's absolutely
I call it straight away. Like some of my clients' wives or husbands are like, I'm just ducking F45. I'm like, make sure you tell them, here's a good physio that I trust, and then come to me after that.
They should just hand you a fucking weightlifting belt when you come in the door. Be like, this might help. I don't know.
Yeah, and a physio referral straight away.
You know what it is? I think most of my clients injure themselves on, or ex-clients when they go to F45. It's the over the... And it's probably an accumulation, but this is where their back goes, the over the bench jumps. Because then you go bang, 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 load up your back, load up your ankles, load up your knees, load up your hips, and then you stand up after 3 minutes straight, and they go, oh, fuck, and then they're done.
Yeah, but you know what? They're so fucking successful, and this is what I hate about group fitness, is it's so marketed towards that fucking guilt that every overweight person has inside themselves, where they know they've been living this hedonistic lifestyle, and they've been stuffing their face, doing what feels good all the time, and then they're like, well, the path to... fixing myself must be punishment then. And that's why they go to these F45 classes. It makes them feel bad and it scratches that itch inside them where they feel like they need to be punished. And that's why group training fucking sucks.
And actually it's hard as from a trainer's perspective because people go to these classes and they sweat and they hear all these things, sweat, fat, crying, all these stupid statements. And
That's
then
a
we
good one.
come in
That's the
and we're
best
doing
one.
weights with them, and especially if that person's weak, they're probably not breaking one sweat in that.
Yeah.
They're not burning any calories in that. And then that's why, like, we might do a bit of conditioning at
Yeah.
the end. But
You got to.
It's again, they're paying you and they're like, well, I'm not sweating. I sweat in F45. What's going on here?
Yeah.
Well, that's why I think your fat loss approach differs to a lot of, let's say, like the commercial fitness fat loss powerhouses, such as like UP, Clean Health, institutions like that are sort of famous for their transformations. They seem to focus a lot on training methodology, whereas from what I've seen, your training is like makes sense and everything like that. But do you do much methodology like that with your clients?
I used it because that was the courses everybody was doing. It was either you do Paul Check or you do these Poliquin courses. And I looked and said, well, the better trainers are doing the Poliquin courses. So I got into this 5x5 and you're doing all these different methods of training. And so when I look back on my different programs and I'll have a 12-week and I would have one method 4 weeks, one method 4 weeks. And I'm like, this looks good. Joint sets. I'm doing all this kind of stuff. Obviously now I look back, it's kind of like the when you're in a restaurant, you go in as a chef. What's it called before you become a chef?
Sous chef.
Sous chef?
Yeah, just
apprentice.
Like apprentice.
Yeah.
And you actually have to practice. You'll do the recipes, but then a Michelin star chef can actually knows the ingredients that go together.
Yeah.
And make a meal from that. They don't have to follow a set pattern. And suppose it's kind of when you're a trainer, you don't really know the methodology of training, so you'll follow a set approach because you don't know anything else, and then over time as you learn about training, you go, now I know how to do
develop your own
exercise
system
here, and then it just flows way better.
You want to talk about a shock? You guys maybe weren't. How long have you been in fitness first?
8 years.
Okay, you might remember this. Do you remember the 3-book starter pack that they got? So you used to get this black folder and it had a pink book, a purple book, and a green
It was all
book.
Bozu balls and
Yeah, I've still got.
circuits.
You wrote their programs in it for a year, your
Circuits,
client, and I still have mine. And fuck, David Weck would be impressed with what I wrote.
Oh,
in there.
really?
Oh yeah. We're talking back 11 years. I've still got a
Bosu
few.
balls are but 10% of the WEC method anyway.
Anyway,
that's the
fully
annoying
anyway.
thing now. As a tangent, when we first started, like,
Oh, it was chaos.
okay, it's chaos, but like, there's no social media. There's
Yeah.
there's no stuff to
The
learn.
level 3s in your gym are your
Yeah,
education.
it's like,
And you're forced to do those shitty
Yeah, yeah.
certificates for your CECs, which now are redundant. Like, is that on it? You guys still have to do them because you're part of fitness
now
first.
I just like, there's no excuse for not being good because there's
Yeah.
too
No.
much information out there.
Yeah,
There's lots
yeah,
of shit information, but there's too many good courses, good people to learn from out there.
Yeah. But like I say, having said that, like all the even though it's a bit of masturbation, all those methods, like at the end of the day, that's not really egregious shit that's going to sort of
Yeah,
roadblock your clients from getting success at the end of the day.
Yeah.
Whereas some of the nutritional stuff is a little bit more dubious. I think that's a bit more egregious to be out of whack with it.
Yeah, and it's
There was still some chaos though back at those courses.
What were you doing? Were you doing a calorie deficit when you first got going 8 years ago?
No,
Or were you
like-
clean eating?
like Luke said. Yeah, it's clean eating. We had
Yeah.
low carb, like just paleo.
Oh, see, I think I was pretty good because we got brought up eating heaps of veggies. I was like, just don't eat processed food.
Yeah, yeah,
eat
yeah.
as much veggies as you can before you eat anything else at meals, and then
Yeah.
that was that.
I remember my thing.
I didn't have enough
used to tell
clients to
people
influence though.
is that if you have skim milk, your body will crave the fat later, and you'll end up just eating it elsewhere. Which is
That's
some
crazy.
bullshit.
Wow.
I'm
Yeah,
trying
I
to
got-
think
might
of the
have got
most
that from mum, in
outlandish
all
stuff.
honesty.
You get that started again.
Oh,
There's
man.
people buy into it.
Our basic information we got from mum and dad that was solid though.
It was pretty solid. The only other thing is mum was probably a bit too obsessed with raw juicing. But not bad. Still
Yeah, not
good
a
for her.
bad
She,
thing.
she wasn't obviously selling
And
fat loss
soy milk.
information.
That was the one blind. But that was me
She's
just
not
being an
Janine
allergy
from Boost
kid.
Juice, is it?
No, it's more of a Sandra
Those are
Cabot
too
fan.
unhealthy. Yeah, we used to have like ginger, beetroot, spinach, not even baby
You're
spinach.
not putting like calorie dense foods
No,
in
no,
a
no.
blender.
No one is responsible for more female obesity than that woman.
Yeah,
Like,
the
just
protein
stitching
balls.
chicks
If you
up.
didn't know, myself and Angus work Fitness First, and outside is a Boost Juice.
Which I visit every time I come to see
Which
you
is
at work.
fine because
Yeah.
us three are
Yeah,
trying to
yeah,
put
yeah.
on weight. We're trying to
Yeah.
bulk up, but then we'll see people go and do a pump class. They
Yeah.
might have burned 150 calories.
Yeah,
The
and that's in
Apple
one of
Watch
those
is telling
balls.
them 450, which is wrong.
Yeah.
And they go out and they've got a smoothie, protein smoothie, which I did. We calculated last week, 500 calories for a protein supreme.
Fuck, that's
Yeah.
what I need to be having.
And
No, the King
for
William
a lot of my
chocolate.
clients, say 50, 60, maybe 70 kilo, depending on how sedentary they are. That's a third of the day's calories. And then they're having a sandwich, and then they're having food
Yeah.
on top of that. So we sit outside and we feel like just running up and saying, stop,
Yeah.
please, just go eat some, like...
Have the celery
eat some-
juice.
Yeah.
I want to say it when they're right there ordering it, but then there's this guy and he's trying to provide for his kids and his wife by like flogging this stuff, and he's like, nah, it's good for you. Like, get some fruit in here. And I'm like, he doesn't know either, so it's not his fault. We're all just caught up in this world. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, when you hear those stories of like soldiers in World War I and II where they lock eyes for a second and they realize that they're just fighting someone else's war. That's what it's like when I lock eyes with the Boost Juice guy. I understand he's just trying to provide for his
But can't
family.
you go up with him and say, look, let's figure out something, and there's going to be a discount on the real low calorie
He's got to go off the
veggie
playbook
juices.
that they give him from head office. It's a
Playbook.
franchise.
It's like you yelling at someone
We
that
hate-
owns F45.
Yeah. We hate that he's so nice as well. That's the problem.
He remembers my name. I haven't been there
I
in
was
a
like, I
year.
wish you were just like not a nice person.
He
But
is
we
a very
were-
friendly guy.
weren't we?
Even I've run into him.
Yeah, he's got you.
He's got me. I need it though. I need that King William chocolate with extra protein.
Yeah.
That would be the most
Anyway,
calorie
it's not
dense.
saying that, like, again, it's not bad, but it's just so calorie dense. You're not getting any fiber in it. You're not eating. You're not chewing. They've seen when people actually chew their food properly, they take in 10% less calories. And you're just drinking this juice, drinking a smoothie, and you're going to be hungry later. Now, if you've accounted for those calories, like we said, within your day, it's fine. But for most people who don't track and need to eat real food, it's just not a good choice.
Yeah, so it goes down so easy.
And it's just like, again, with the rise of protein, everything, they've got these protein balls in there.
They're so good.
They're
They
like
actually taste
350
really good.
calories
Yeah.
for a little ball.
The white chocolate one is
And people are
legit.
just unaware it's a fat ball. It's full of fat.
We got to stop Nick Tate going up there though, because people don't realize how hard Nick Tate tries to bulk. You know, Nick Tate is
Yeah,
like
yeah.
42-year-old, just body of a fucking Adonis.
Yeah.
And
He's
all-
the Wayne
all
Campbell of your gym.
Yes, exactly. And all the girls watch him like, oh, the sexy
Yeah,
man
yeah, yeah.
eats at Boost, but he's there just stuffing like 1,000 calories
Yeah,
at a
yeah.
time into his face, and they all follow him out. It's ruthless.
We're on
But
our
you can't
feet
get
all
him to
day
say
and,
anything.
like, we're just burning so many calories.
So many calories.
When you look at, say, like, the more muscular someone is when they do weights, the more calories they're going to burn. And if we have Gen Pop people coming in training, they're just not burning that much calories.
No.
Either that in the session, especially not throughout the whole day as well.
Got like 15 kilos of skeletal muscle mass.
Yeah,
Trying to
yeah,
fucking
yeah,
put
yeah.
away 5 Boost balls.
And if
Good
we look
luck.
at like the steps, we're like, oh yeah, I got a lot of steps in today, 4,000. Like it's a big day. Us as trainers could be getting 20,000 steps in, which is like could be 1,000 calorie, 1,500 calorie difference.
Oh, that makes me upset. Last week I tried to not get over 10,000, and it's like as soon as I walk up here, done.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
Yeah,
and that's not that far. I work just over the corner.
And that's why they say now, I think the boys always mention it, it's like when you're doing weight training, forget about going in to burn calories. Like your jobs there is to maintain, if it's fat loss, maintain muscle mass.
Yeah.
Which means progressive overload, like Angus always talks about, lifting more weights.
His favorite thing.
Don't look at burning calories. Look at hobbies, like you said. Look at just your neat, moving more throughout the day, and let that be a way of burning more calories. Because you'll come in, you might burn 300-400 calories at tops in a big weight session, and then we'll see people go and take the lift back up.
Add tops. I reckon. I don't know how many calories you just don't know exactly, do you?
No, I
In a
don't
weight
think any
session.
more than like 350. Like Luke was saying.
I reckon if you're an animal and you got a huge amount of skeletal muscle mass,
and you're doing big aerobics, like
It can't be over.
like CrossFit style,
Yeah,
Oh
maybe
yeah, CrossFit you
Metcon.
could burn maybe 550. I reckon. Like an hour and a half.
But that's
hard
like
CrossFit.
knocking on the door of Rabdo.
Yeah.
And then
Well,
what-
that's Dana Lynn Bailey, like bodybuilder,
Yeah.
can push herself,
Yeah.
jumped in a CrossFit class, first one
Yeah, yeah,
Rabdo.
yeah.
Because you get someone who can break down that amount of muscle and who will push
Well,
themselves
Klokov.
that. Yeah,
Yeah,
he could get
Klokov.
it. Yeah.
he's squatting like 200 for 10 reps when he's doing, like, it's just ridiculous.
Absolutely wild. But even some of the WODs get him like that last like 2 or 3 reps, he
Yeah, yeah.
hits a brick fucking wall.
Yeah, yeah.
One of the things I want to get into is, so obviously we know calorie deficit is the magical path towards fat loss.
Yep.
Obviously getting clients to track can be one thing. Or that kind of seems to be sort of the split in the crowd right now.
Yep.
You have half the people saying no. Like everyone understands
Yep.
that it's a food obsession, just in a different way if you
Yep.
track every day.
Yep.
So some people like build them up towards tracking,
Yep.
whereas other people say force them to track
Yep.
just
And
for
then
the
take
initial
them
sort
away.
of 6-week period, just to gain some food
Educated
literacy.
eating.
Yeah, what's your What do you push people?
I think
down
it's
the
a bit
path of?
easier when you actually coach people because you can just say, oh, we can get a grasp of what they're actually eating, and then just make recommendations. Okay, you have Jamie Oliver style olive oil in your dinner at night. Just bake your food. You've saved 500 calories there, and we can give them a little recommendation to save calories each day. I think where it comes is just trying to educate people who don't have a coach, which is a bit harder because tracking's the easiest way. But
MyFitnessPal will spell it out for them. Yeah.
And I'll have people where I'll track. I'll have people where I don't track. Again, it depends where they come from. If someone's a beginner and then they just start, quote unquote, eating better, lower calorie food, regulates their appetite better, they're naturally going to eat less calories in general. Hence, they're going to lose weight. They might get to the stage then when they've lost a lot of kilos, they've hit a plateau while they're eating good food. Because again, you can still overeat on good food. It's just hard. No one comes to us saying, geez, I'm after getting real obese, only eating vegetables. I mean, it doesn't happen.
There will be that one poor guy out there. Like, I feel
or
bad
it could
for
be,
him.
or they're like
He's just-
sauteing their veggies in oil.
He's just born without leptin and ghrelin or something. You know what I mean? He'd be there.
I had a client the other day, like real smart guy, successful guy, and I'm like, all right, he needs to get more veggies in. I'm like, this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna put like as much veggies as you can in the pan, saute them, and then put eggs with it, egg whites with it. Simple breakfast. He goes, oil? And I'm like, no. He goes, how are they meant to cook? I'm like, the water in the veggies is fine. And he's like, really? I'm like, go home and video it and send it to me. And he's like, oh, it works.
So yes, I suppose the whole school of thought is like, especially when we come back to a beginner, what we're trying to do in the easiest way possible, and everyone's on a curve of how resistant they will be to change, is to slowly lower the calories in that person's diet while we increase the nutrient dense foods. So the foods that it's very hard to overeat on. More vegetables, more proteins. And if it's a long-term thing, by the end of it, they're naturally eating that way anyway. If we get someone that says, Sean, I want to eat McDonald's 3 times a day. Okay, you might just track just to see how many calories are in that McDonald's.
Yeah.
So it's a trade-off. Does that person want to start just eating better, which will naturally eat less calories? Or do they want to fit a lot of foods they enjoy into that person's diet? Then maybe you have to track how many calories are in that, because the way they make these foods is they're just too easy to overeat on. Like we said at the start, they hit the dopamine part of your brain. They're same centers like drugs, alcohol, to not the same extent.
Fucking Mcguinness selling their McPinger burger.
Mixed scum. And then when you hit that part of the brain, dopamine goes up and it actually overrides the appetite center. So that's where your dessert stomach comes into play.
Coming.
You just keep eating. So
and
it's
you notice it yourself.
Yeah.
Like
so
when you're eating a tub of ice cream and you've eaten it.
You're like, I'm not full, but I'm just keep eating. I'll keep eating. So that's what happens again. If we look at like evolutionary, that's the way our brain's supposed to. We grew up in a scarce food environment, so if we could get calorie dense foods, your brain just says, keep eating, Sean. We're gonna use this. And now they've actually made foods that hit that dopamine way more than what originally was, so that suppresses our appetite even more. So that's where you look at like, should I track? You can't really just eat shit food all day because you're more likely to overeat on it. So again, look at that flexible diet, and it's like fit a percent of
it gets so many people.
Yeah.
Well, I think we all look back on the if it fits your macros era, and we all cringe a little bit at ourselves. We were taking the piss there. Because there were those bodybuilders out there being like, look, I only ate burgers
so
today,
many, but no wonder they're so fucking
rig
and shit. For that reason, like, of course you can fit in, and I still see people do it. Of course you can fit in a whole tub of ice cream, but it's gonna probably ruin your day after you've had it.
There's a certain... Haven't seen that guy on Instagram in a while. Don't know if he's gone.
No, they've gone all quiet.
Chick Needle. Something like that. And this guy is 100 kilos of absolute muscle, training every day, steps through the roof, and he's advertising how he's eating burgers every meal.
Yeah.
Relax. Like, you're not the sedentary person that's the whole day's calories.
And it's like, are you helping people, or are you just fucking bragging about how good your life is?
That's
literally the person I was thinking of is from that same circle.
It used to do my head in, because maybe someone eats the whole day's calories with a burger, but they're going to get hungry. That's the problem. And then they're going to overeat on the calories. So for sedentary people that sit down all day, we have to look at how can we keep that person full and satiated. And the way to do that is with the majority of the food being kind of healthy food.
It's not a magic pill. Because so many people know their calories, and they get to their calories and they're still hungry. They're like, fuck it, I'll just keep eating. They don't just stop because they're out of calories.
Yeah, exactly. We as humans eat until we're full, until like the stretch receptors on our stomach go out a certain way, until our brain
Just
says.
come in like that. Sorry, man. I'm so paranoid about sound now.
We eat until we're full. We don't eat necessarily, and you won't be able to do it long term because your calorie says it's done. We eat until we're full.
Yeah.
And that's where things like, and this is why I'll be skinny my whole life. I'm a slow as hell eater.
You are extremely slow.
Yeah, there is no way I'll ever intuitively eat myself fat because I just eat too slow.
Yeah.
Whereas I have a look at some other trainers around our gym who have been overweight in the past and they just inhale food.
Well, that's why I think I'm surprised I'm so slim because
You
I used to
quick.
eat your food as well.
Yeah.
Like I used to smash my food as a kid, and then I'd be looking at Angus and he'd get frustrated and just be like, have it.
So the problem is, I think I always go on tangents with this, but like there's so many different tools for most people. I suppose the blanket statement you could give most people is they do need to eat lower kind of reward foods.
Yeah, so say you couldn't track. Say that was not an option.
Yeah.
How would you, without tracking, naturally guide yourself to have the highest chance of eating a deficit? What sort of
And that's why even
strategies?
Precision Nutrition, they do like a portion control with your palm size. So you'll get a palm size of meat for females. For males, you get 2 palm sizes. And you'll make a third of your plate protein, veggies, and say good carbs. And if you're doing that for 2 or 3 meals a day, it's very hard to
Can't be that bad, yeah.
Yeah, for most people. If someone's really sedentary, then they may just stall on that. Then you may get to the stage where you need to track because there may be some snacks and nibbles and bites creeping in that you're not aware of. That
Cooking oils,
yeah,
stuff
that
like
can
that.
throw you over the threshold. But for the majority of people, if they just eat better quality food that is naturally more satiating, lower calorie, that's what I'd always kind of start with for most people again.
Stay the fuck out of the health food aisle.
Yeah.
Veggie chips.
Well, it's funny because the health food aisle, myself and Angus, like if we're trying to put on weight, we'll deliberately go into that aisle. Because even the veggie chips, yes, they're low calorie, but whatever they're putting on it just makes you keep eating.
Yeah.
So if we're trying to put on weight, we'll eat foods that we can keep eating. The opposite of what someone's trying to lose weight.
Well, that's like Will Crozier smacks like 4 packs of the peckish crackers because he can just graze on them all day. And like when he was out the front of the studio, sure enough, he had a whole pack.
Because there's even a sweet spot in terms of how like rich something is. Like, to be fair, it might be easier to like overeat Snickers bars, but you can't eat Snickers all day. Like, you will actually hit a wall with them. Whereas something that's not too tasty. Yeah, I agree. There is that weird
and actually,
sweet
there's
spot.
a thing called, is it the Pringle effect? A Doritos effect. There's a book about it, and actually, the scientists that make the Doritos make them in a way that
the crunch,
when you eat it, they actually absorb on your tongue, so you don't chew it as much, so your stomach doesn't get the signal that you've eaten anything.
Fuck you.
That's
Doritos,
crazy. Because I've also heard there's something with like the crunch. Because I watch this show where they try and engineer foods you buy and make it exactly the same. They do a blind test. It's actually quite interesting. It's in a food lab in America, and the one thing they couldn't replicate, they've managed to figure out the spice and the flavor. I think it was just for nacho cheese, but they couldn't get the chip to crunch and be as light as the same one that the Doritos were, and the curved edges.
That's like cornflakes. Some of my clients that eat cornflakes, do you know what they originally invented?
No.
I think it was back in the 1800s when like masturbation was seen as bad. But I think it was in England or Ireland. Correct me on whatever.
Slowing down society.
Somewhere that's proper traditional Christian.
Yeah.
And they say like if you masturbate, you're gonna go blind. Like all those kind of sayings.
Yeah.
Someone, it was a doctor, and he was getting all these patients in that were just horny, libidos through the roof. So he was it Mr. Flake? Something was that related to
Mr. Kellogg's?
Yeah, Mr. Kellogg's, Dr. Kellogg's.
That's it.
And he related people at high libido with all these illnesses. So he said, right, what foods can I make that are going to lower these people's libido? And he came about and him and his brother invented cornflakes, where the people were eating them and their libido was just gone.
That's crazy.
Imagine the R&D
all these
for
processed
that. They
carbs.
just feed these guys cornflakes while they see if he jacks off after this.
So I don't know how this info hasn't got out. Like how it's not
beautiful.
It's
got
probably
out now.
Someone in Kellogg's will probably come shoot you.
Mate, Hillsong parents will be tuning in and be like, all right, I know exactly what to do.
Someone's going to probably snipe at me after this from Kellogg's, that organization. But
that's gold.
Pass it on.
There you go. It's a big food shield.
Do Kellogg's have any like legit foods? They got Nutri-Grain, which is we'll hate unless you're trying to put on weight. Iron Man food. Oh, remember Sustain was its own brand. Dude, I used to smash the
That was
was
the
Kellogg's.
brand started with an S. Sanitarium, I believe.
You're right.
Well,
you're
you
right.
guys are in the Ironman, so you have to always eat that. Like,
So I'd say,
the advertising is
to
on
that
point.
point, though, we had so many kids who would swim 4 or so Ks a morning
Yeah,
with
yeah,
us.
like
Still
legit 400.
legitimately obese.
Yeah.
Oh,
Just
serious?
from cereal. Yeah.
Cereal and like LCM
But then they
bars
cut
throughout
out
that day.
cereal and just
yeah,
dropped
sure,
weight.
Yeah.
But I think like we could have done with more Nutrigrain.
100%, yeah.
Because
We were
I'd
too
eat,
shredded.
I'd literally eat.
Yeah,
I'd get
yeah.
home from swimming in 2x2, eat 16 to 20 Wheat Bix every morning
Yeah.
with honey.
You need that Phelps
I
diet.
was like, needed that Phelps diet.
Can't handle the billies, this one.
Hey.
Can't handle the
No,
billies though. Yeah,
Phelps
that's why I
is
was never great.
Well, that's why even I had a online client and she was telling me how she eat muesli every day. Like, I think she made her own or she bought it in the shop. And I did a video, I posted on my Instagram. I measured out how much she'd have with some yogurt, some orange juice, again, traditional healthy foods. It was 1,000 calories she's eating.
Yogurt's the
Got no
real
chance.
calorie.
Like that, yeah.
No chance.
With milk, muesli, that's your whole day's calories for most
Yeah.
But
people.
all you fucking women's health
Dried
is always like,
fruit
oh,
as
you got to
well.
nourish your
dried-
body with these nutrient-dense foods. It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not the
and
point.
Again, it's trying to differentiate. Those foods may be nutrient dense in muesli, but they're calorie dense as well. So if you stick to, again, vegetables and protein, stuff, all that, like documentaries that are out there, no one's getting good fat loss results. I've never seen on a vegan vegetarian diet.
Nah, because you can still eat so many calorie dense foods.
Health,
like you
health
said.
is different, but if you're trying to suppress someone's appetite,
Yeah.
animal proteins do help a lot.
Because they're hard to
hard
digest.
to
Like,
digest.
not everything should just go straight fucking through you.
Yeah. You don't want
Turns
that.
out, yeah.
I just think of the
People
craps
even
those guys are
overhype
having.
like easy digestible things. If you put some shit in
Yeah,
your body
yeah.
that's hard to digest,
Yeah.
it will stop you from fucking
That's the
overeating.
problem. Like obviously protein shakes, whey protein shakes. It's invented so you could digest it very quick. So you're not gonna have it's not gonna be satiating for
Yeah.
yourself.
Marketed
Shout out-
so well.
Shout
though.
out Jimmy Piper.
He's dropped some bombs when it comes to the satiety index. He's just finished a competition prep, knows the satiety index like the back of his hand. Actually, his coach, Dean McKillop, who's also been on our show, I heard him talking about his carb continuum, where he can have someone from the biggest bulk to getting stage lean, eating the same amount of carbs weight. It goes from Cocoa Pops right the way through cornflakes into white rice, brown rice, into potato, sweet potato, and then the end of the
Pumpkin.
spectrum is pumpkin.
Yes.
Yeah, apparently
I
it's
hate
all
pumpkin.
water and fiber. There is
Really?
nothing in pumpkin.
My girlfriend lives on pumpkin.
Well, I
She's
suppose
trying
it
to
makes
shred.
sense when you bake it how much like less volume there is compared to when you bake a sweet potato and bake a potato.
And that's the other point you can get to. If you look at tools of way of not tracking, perfect way. Look at the most satiating foods out there that you can eat shitloads of and still be full and still be below your calories.
White potato is still so surprising.
You're talking an Irish person, half a country died. If there was loads of calories in potatoes, we'd be all good. The problem is they're not calorie dense, which is crazy because then you get that carb people.
I think what bastardized potatoes is how people cook it, like mashed with cream and butter and salt.
Yeah.
And
If you're
roast.
cooking, just boil the potato,
Yeah.
and you're not making it calorie dense. So again, it hits that dopamine part of your brain. When you have carbs and fats together in one food, that's calorie dense. Your brain likes that. Okay, little dopamine hit. Overeat on these foods. So there's a different, exactly like Oscar said, with potatoes versus when you put butter and salt on it. Again, salt, you're gonna hit that part of your
Salt
brain.
all the time.
So and then fry it again. Game over.
Yeah. It
Going
makes for
back
a delicious meal.
To what you were saying before, though, I do wish that the government would make a concerted effort to differentiate with their public health messaging around obesity and weight loss. Like maybe we need to develop into a 2-stage system. Like, one, are you overweight? Then we'll get to this stuff about health.
I think it's probably not even the government. It's like Google, but Google's all ads. Like if I Googled now how to lose weight, guaranteed Jenny Craig ads going to pop up first. It's like the information there should
I think
be
Google
a bit better. Let's have a
might
look.
be knocking on the door of something that might get them a bit
It
more
does.
into calorie
100%.
deficit stuff.
It does give me a bit of an existential crisis sometimes when I think like we're trying to help people lose fat, where it's the only problem, like in the West, like it's never been a problem before.
Yeah, pretty well. If we get everyone lean, like
You foods
it'll
have the top
fix
spot
itself.
at the moment.
Oh, okay.
Really?
Then Jenny Craig second.
You
But
feel-
Jenny Craig, I
And then
believe,
intermittent
is still some sort of
fasting app?
tracking system, right? Or is Jenny Craig the one where you can eat limitless eggs? One of them, eggs aren't points. So if you can put away like 48
that's
eggs in a
Weight
day,
Watchers.
technically
Here we go. Okay, so after you get through the 3 ads, so You Foods, Jenny Craig, then the App Store, Body Fast, intermittent fasting. It goes, here are 10 more steps to lose weight. Eat a high-protein breakfast, avoid sugary drinks, fruit juice, drink water, half hour before meals, choose weight-loss-friendly foods, see list, eat soluble fibre, drink coffee or tea, eat mostly whole unprocessed foods, and eat your foods slowly. Not too bad at all.
I have much less problems with people calling intermittent fasting good for weight loss than I do saying it's anabolic. So at least they've got that right.
No way. And again, intermittent fasting, it's not really, it's just a tool in someone's toolbox.
Do you do much time restricted eating?
Not myself, because I'm trying to.
Oh, with your clients. Sorry.
Yeah, 100%. If someone's busy and if we look at when you're putting a nutrition plan out, you have certain guidelines, and then you try to apply those guidelines to that person's life.
Yeah.
Because if you don't, that person's going to get resistant to change. So most people, if they're busy and they have families, they want to come home and they have majority of their calories in the evening with their family. They don't want to feel like they're on a diet when they're in that social setting, especially. So
because that's when everyone's trying to drag you out of it. If you can diet in privacy, you'll be fine.
Yeah, exactly. And again, we see these people on Instagram. You're single, like it's all good. You live at home, you have 10 hours to food prep. It's completely different to actually giving Gen Pop guidelines. But if I can get someone that eats shit in 3 meals a day, real high calorie food, if I can just get that person to say, right, what would happen if you skip breakfast? Just have a coffee. You're going to run on cortisol the first half of the day anyway from all those meetings and coffee. And then you can not track and you'll still lose weight.
Yeah. That's the tricky thing with those guys. You just got to make sure they don't feel like shit too much, because then they're keeping their same shitty lunch. Yeah. And that's when I find that gets tricky, but you're so right.
Yeah, it's definitely, because the people that pay us need to perform. So there's certain transformation things that we mentioned before that will get people in. They have great results, but what you don't see is actually they're living on 50 grams of carbs a day, and they can't stay awake in their fucking meeting. So, and they have to make big decisions, and like, if you're taking away fuel for that person's brain,
they're going to feel horrible.
Well, how many people as well on whatever method of, you don't catch public transport to work, so you'd miss out on this. But you hop on the bus, I hop on the ferry, and the way I see some people looking at like their morning baked treat on their way into work,
and like,
it's everything to them. They're like, I would push my wife off a fucking cliff for another bite of this muffin, like that sort of vibes. You know what I mean?
Just
so
if
you can get people out of that mode where they feel like they need to eat immediately after waking up, or you can get them maybe into a morning routine where maybe they go for a little bit of a dip in the ocean rather than getting this like tasty muffin every day with their coffee.
Well, that's why I think encouraging kids like we did, a sport straight out of bed in the morning, and then you have breakfast 2 hours later.
Yeah. It's funny, I got an Uber to work. Me and Angus are infamous for that. And it was the first session was at 6, and I hate when the guy's talking to Uber. Like, I wish
he's been up all night.
I wish there was a button, just don't talk.
You know, you can choose that now. Is that just in America?
Just in America.
Oh, that needs to come in quick.
It's fucking crazy. All the chirp when I crash on your couch, your Uber drivers in your hood, notoriously the worst. It's always just some ex-finance worker who's been retrenched, be like, yeah, I'll keep an iron in the fire, do a bit of fucking Uber. Just the chatty dad mode at 5 a.m. in the morning. I want to neck myself.
Please stop. Yeah. And stupidly wore my PT uniform. I normally wear like a
you can't
the boys
do that.
give me shit for wearing a shirt and that. I'm bringing that. Remember Conor McGregor started wearing suits for UFC? Yeah. I'm doing that for PTs.
I told you that's what
you wear that in the gym. I was gonna say. No, I get it.
Outside
I
it.
100% get it. Everyone's like I like shoes. I'm like, it makes me feel good.
Yeah,
makes
I feel
me feel
good.
like
I feel
I'm
good.
portraying that I'm doing well at my job. It's just my thing. It's I get the dressing to make you feel good.
I think I've just done long enough wearing tracksuits where I'm kind of like, I want to feel good.
So I'm still in that honeymoon phase where I'm like, I get to wear trackies at work.
I'll never get over that.
I do a bit more work cafes now, and they kind of like, you get a different look.
That you're constantly on the job hunting circuit. You got your laptop, you're applying for jobs, you're trying to look professional.
Who is this grub?
Everyone leans over, expects to see seek.com up on the screen.
They see spreadsheets, and then they're heaps confused.
I look like Tim Ferriss now in a cafe. I'll just have a shirt. I look unbelievable.
Tools of the Titans sitting beside you. Got a copy of the game on top of that.
Oh, that's gold.
Questions, Will.
So when are you going to get that mint coat, how much was that mint coat that he wore? It was crazy, Gucci 1 of 1. Yeah.
He's coming back. He's coming back. Hopefully, wears it.
That was peak McGregor. Like, nothing.
That's the peak.
When he's doing the
enjoyed
dance
that
on that
series
stage,
of press conferences more than any of his fights.
100%.
That was his Mona Lisa.
Yeah.
The third one was they were both fucked by the end of it.
He went on a world tour with Aldo, and like,
True.
around the world, and went into Ireland. He grabbed his belt and held
That
it
was
up.
crazy.
Everyone's gone
That
bananas.
was crazy. No, the dancing he did when he got up off the stool in that after he'd taken the jacket off and he was just shirtless in
Yeah, that's a
boots
meme.
and
That's been.
jeans.
That's
I was
been
like, that's
Was
awesome.
that the debut of the Billionaires Walk?
Nah,
Alvarez?
he'd done it before. He'd always jumped in the ring and done that, I think. The Billionaires Walk.
No, it came about at a certain point. It might have been just because I watched the Eddie Alvarez fight and he didn't do it before that.
Oh, really?
Really?
I think it debuted then.
No.
Yeah, that's when he knew that money was coming.
The walk
And
was
he had it
all
on his
time.
Instagram. I can't remember what he said,
It's the
but he was
best.
just heaps happy,
He
just
is
like
the best.
strolling through Vegas.
What are we saying? And then the Uber driver asked. He was trying to. I wore my PT shirt for once, and
Fucked
he
it.
asked, "Oh, you do a bit of PT? Yeah,
Little
it's
bit.
actually my full-time job."
So this is where you guys have it wrong. You jump in the Uber and you go hard on them. I'm like, hey mate, how you going? Busy night? And they're just like, oh fuck, I'll get them on the back foot.
Yeah,
and
fair
then
enough.
I ask them the boring questions. I'm like, so you're doing a bit of this? I'm like, anything
Yeah,
else?
yeah,
I'm like,
yeah.
what job did you fail? He's like, oh PT. I'm like, oh what gym? They're like, oh fitness first.
Oh,
and then
no.
you really get on them on the back foot.
And then he started asking me, he's like, I'm trying to lose weight.
Always.
And like, it's a bit more awkward when they're out of shape.
Yeah.
Not that I have anything against it, obviously.
Yeah,
but-
no.
And I'm in my PT shirt because I don't want to make them feel bad that
Yeah.
I work
Because
in a
they're
gym.
going to
And
rate you at the end of the trip
they
too.
think I'm judging them. I'm like, I don't really care what you do in your lifestyle. Like,
Yeah.
it's like when you eat with people. Oh, so, like I know you don't eat this food.
It's like, mate, live your
Relax.
life.
Like I don't.
Are you
really
happy?
care.
Yes, that's all that matters.
And he started at 4 a.m. and obviously he's driving all day. And he said, "Oh mate, like I heard." He said he asked me what I have for breakfast, and I said I just have a coffee. I'll eat maybe 9 or 10 a.m.
Yeah.
And then he got on to, oh, is breakfast the most important meal of the day? Like before my 4 a.m. shift, I'll have Weetabix, I'll have a protein shake. And then eventually I was like, well, you better off just like, that's 500 calories there.
Yeah.
Most people need to drop 500 calories from their day.
Mm.
To create a calorie deficit, just don't eat breakfast.
Yeah, just have black coffee.
But that's the biggest heartbreaker. Like when you see someone putting in the effort, like
Yeah.
that guy's putting
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
effort
yeah,
to
yeah,
do
yeah,
that. He's
yeah.
not naturally just
Yeah.
eating Wheat Bix, naturally going to reach for a protein shake.
Yeah.
He's going out of his fucking way
Yeah.
to try to do something good by himself. And that's why I think it's so important
Yeah.
to get the fucking messaging
Yeah,
right.
yeah,
Because
yeah.
people are putting in the effort. There is not an issue,
Yeah.
generally speaking, with people putting in the effort.
Yeah.
It's just directing it in the right way.
Yeah. And that's even like when we used to work with James Smith and Diren, and they obviously really start shouting about calorie deficit. And we're in our circle where it's probably more advanced nutrition. We're like, yes, boys, like we know that's brilliant. But then when you get outside of our circle, it's just chaos. And then I was like, okay, now I know why he's actually talking about this, because people, again, still don't believe calories matter. Someone
Yeah.
was arguing on my Facebook the other day, telling me it's all about carbohydrates and insulin.
You really got to shove it down there.
Yeah, so I'm like, and then obviously he's got that message out there, which is great. So yeah, I'm with Angus. I hate seeing people that put in loads of effort, because you could have all the discipline, motivation in the world, but if that's combined with a bad approach, you're set up for failure. It doesn't matter. You may do a few weeks,
Yeah.
but that's it. After that, it's over.
There you go. That was solid.
That's fucking
Should we
heavy.
get into our scripted questions?
Yeah, let's do it. How long have we been going for?
47
yeah.
minutes.
There you go.
And we
I don't know
actually
why. It
started
just
on
feels
time.
like a bullshit podcast
Yeah,
if
yeah.
you don't nut out at least 45 minutes. Like, what the fuck is
No,
this?
see,
An Instagram
I have.
post?
If we're online, I judge how it's going. I go 30 to 40 of solid before I get into this. But
Yeah.
IRL, it's
If you don't,
anything
if
from
you don't look
40
at the
to an
clock,
hour.
that's a good thing, I think.
Yeah, 100%.
To be fair, I
don't
think there's
look at
only
it that
been 2 where I've been like, fuck, like, wrap this up, please.
Yeah, I've probably had.
I know
I
one.
can get
I know
into a
one for you.
conversation. We'll talk about it later.
Well, that's why even the podcast we listen to, it's just like chats.
Yeah,
Where it's like
yeah.
Joe Rogan, Joey
Yeah.
Diaz, like all those, they're just mates
Yeah.
and they just have a laugh.
Joe,
Did you say,
Joe be
speaking
talking about
of-
like a shit that he took that morning?
Did
or
you listen
something?
to Chris D'Elia's last week? No, anyway, did you hear Brian Callen got invited to Sylvester Stallone's house? For Arnold
yeah.
Anyway, Chris D'Elia was there last night.
Oh, no.
He was posting the funniest
serious?
shit ever. It was awesome. It was heaps funny. I'm heaps keen for his podcast this week.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
'Cause
I have
like-
to listen to a podcast. I think Angus is the same before, like I go to bed.
Oh, really?
It's probably not good for my brain, but it
It's-
just settles me.
Don't
I
tell
just-
Luke Tulloch that. He'll be like,
It has the timer
You'd be like,
going
"You
off.
touch your
It's just a
phone?"
bit of background noise.
Yeah.
But I listen to Joey Diaz like every night. before I go to bed.
So I need
That's
to
too
lay on
high
the couch
energy for
before
me to
bed.
fall asleep to. Like, that's fucked.
I just love all those like cocaine stories and like
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah.
like I'm living a healthy life, but it's good just to live
Oh, yeah, you gotta
vicariously
stay
through
in
what
touch.
you've done.
Yeah. definitely.
And
No.
So Louise like gets out routine. It's like put Joey on. Let's go to bed. Like that's.
Oh,
the
I
thing.
forget that you go to sleep with someone.
Yeah.
That's even weirder.
I'm like, stop talking now. It's Joey's time. You just be quiet.
Oh, so that's good. I have to have dead silence.
Oh, serious?
Dude, if I can hear like a blind clicking in our house, I might fucking close that.
Oh no.
Dead
Yeah.
silence. I have to lay on the couch for a bit, get a bit sleepy, then cuddle my way to sleep.
It's
Yeah.
cute.
I thought I was a cuddler until I started regularly sleeping beside someone, and then I realized how much I actually love sleeping in my own bed.
Yeah.
Like ultimate
Yeah,
would
yeah.
be like you go to sleep in the same bed, but then
The bed
in the
just
same
separate.
Yeah, as soon as it
Oh,
sets
that's
the
a
lack of
business
movement.
Well, that's why
Yeah.
even I'll have
Across.
clients that like have trouble sleeping, this, that, and it's like, I'm like, oh, have my
Maybe you
geezer,
just hate
make
your
sure,
wife.
make sure to meditate before bed, and like the partner will go away and like, my sleep's been amazing this week.
yeah. You're onto something there. A bed that divides.
Yeah.
Oh, it is something that we've romanticized since the dawn of time. But like, I don't want to actually talk about anyone's private life on
Yeah.
here. But I know a guy at work. He is living with his missus, and they moved in like pretty early in the relationship.
Yeah.
But one of the things that they have, because they got different work schedules, is
Yeah.
they have separate bedrooms.
Yeah.
From the start of the relationship, they
Yeah,
go
yeah.
shag in one bed, and
Yeah.
they'll be like, all right, go
Off
to
to
fucking
bed.
bed, or
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
they'll do it in.
Yeah,
I don't know if
having-
they switch beds, but it seems like
Having
a very
partner that
mature
goes to the
take on it.
Yeah.
Same time to bed as you is key.
It's definitely key.
Like
Yeah,
it makes a huge
100%.
difference.
If you get waking up on that first,
Yeah.
Can you imagine being
Oh.
a PT having a misso who's into like Bender and going to Sash on bloody Sundays and stuff like that? Like, fuck.
A lot of PTs probably do and do
A
that
lot of PTs
themselves.
Bender, but
Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
Yeah, like having a shift working partner. I
that Ben
think was
Cousins
involved.
lifestyle.
yeah.
That Ben Cousins lifestyle. Let's get into the top 5 athletes because I actually saw David Gray shouting out a lot of AFL
Yeah.
players this morning.
Well, he was shouting. He was
Just
shouting
jumping.
out some Irish. He was shouting out Roy Keane when he was.
Was he? I was on his story. We're just talking about
Ah,
jumping.
okay. But when he was
On
on here,
the show.
he
Yes,
shouted out
yes.
some like Gaelic
Is he
football.
like
He did,
the
yeah.
Messi of fucking Gaelic football?
Roy Keane played for Man United. He was the actual football soccer player.
He was a
amazing.
beast.
Sorry, I was thinking Gaelic football.
But there was a Gaelic footballer on there, I think.
And one of them was his mate as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, not his mate because he's a bit tentative to give him a shout out because he sounded like this guy would beat him up for
Maybe.
mentioning him. So it was like a local hero, I think.
That's heavy.
Yeah, it was heavy.
Anyway, number one athlete.
Number 1. Oh, well, just top 5.
It has to be McGregor when he was in his prime, like going for the belts.
Broke McGregor. I
Yeah,
feel like
broke
that's a
McGregor,
different thing.
100%,
Yeah.
Well, after like, there's obviously Dublin and Ireland so close. So after like the Mendes fight, he started going bananas then
So you heard some inside shit going on?
You're in those fabled
He was hanging
WhatsApp
out.
groups.
with like the biggest crime family in
Really?
Europe. Yeah.
Well, if I Googled him, would I find out who it is?
Yeah, like a lot of pictures. If it's been in the papers heaps in Ireland, a lot of the pictures he has on like Instagram, Twitter are like proper. Some of them are dead now.
Really?
Like, yeah.
So it's like Khabib and all those guys hanging out with those Russian
Yeah,
warlords.
yeah. But because he was from the same area, Crumlin.
Oh,
in
so he
Dublin.
might have known them growing
Yeah,
up.
I think he didn't know them growing up.
He
Is-
grew up a bit of a heavy cat.
Yeah.
It's funny because everyone I used to go to school with, mine was a kind of probably same school as him, and we just talk like McGregor. Everyone, like, that's how we talk to each other.
Yeah.
So it's funny, that's why everyone got around him when he first,
yeah.
before
yeah.
he became too.
He was
fucking bananas.
relatable.
Yeah, yeah.
And he was Ireland's first
Yeah, yeah.
legit fighter
Yeah.
in a
I think they
long,
got me
long
into
time.
jiu-jitsu. I just wanted to get into fighting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then pick something where you didn't have to
Didn't
get
want to
hit
get
in
hit
the
in the
head.
face, but
Yeah.
because then CTA, then you learn about that, and it's a big dilemma.
What about wrestling?
I'll have to do it. I want to.
That's what.
Yeah.
But where are the good wrestling camps around the
There's
city?
none. So Ethan,
Yes.
I've got a mate who
Huh.
will probably make the Olympics next year.
Oh,
Couldn't
wow.
get. He's a pro
Serious?
MMA fighter.
The
No one
Olympics?
wants to fight him.
Wow.
So he's like, "Fuck it, I'm just going to wrestle."
Yeah.
And he won the national title, and now he's got a win in New Zealand at the end, like soon actually, and then he's
Yeah.
got to go to Africa, where he reckons the competition's not as good. They're
Wow.
just freak
Yeah, yeah,
athletes,
freak
but if you can get him
athletes.
technically, he reckons he'll go.
Yeah,
We'll get him
wow.
on the show. But anyway, he went MMA, wasn't getting fights,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
now if he does this, gets exposure.
I've had 3 big concussions in AFL. I think that's like the limit.
Oh, you played AFL out here?
Yeah.
How was the transition?
Well, one of the sports people on my top 5, I have
Yeah.
to give it to Ty Kennelly.
Ty Kennelly?
Yeah, he's on. He played for the Swans in
A long
when did they
time.
first
Not
win the
that long,
premiership?
5 years ago.
2005.
Yeah, he
They
would
won
have.
the premiership 2005.
You know your AFL. I thought you would have said Luke Toohey from Geelong, the Irish
Nah,
player with the beard.
Because Ty won the premiership with Swans, and then he got up
Yeah,
and got
yeah,
the
yeah.
medal and did a little Irish jig.
So he's the
Huge,
goat.
yeah,
pretty
yeah,
huge.
Yeah,
And that's when he wanted to play AFL.
yeah.
What's the transition like? This will be interesting.
Going from round ball to football is pretty.
Yeah,
And
the
the
ball is hard.
rectangle.
Like peripherally, it's the same.
Yeah.
Except when, like in Gaelic football, there's no rugby tackle, so you try to take someone on. It's
with the
kind of
shoulder?
like basketball and shoulder charge. Yeah, you just can't wrap them up and take them down.
Yeah.
So you could take someone on, but when I went into AFL, I was like, yeah, all right, I have this guy for pace. Next minute, I ran down from the back. Someone just smashed me.
Yeah,
so you have to let the ball off way quicker. Yeah, you can't really.
And that was it.
Yeah, that was it.
Because
what about
the
kicking's
pitch?
obviously very hard.
Yeah. Well, you're talking to two of the shittest.
Is that
kickers
one of the
ever.
reasons why Gaelic football kind of ends up being more violent because they try to restrict it? It's like in hockey, every time they try to clean it up with the enforcers, then it's just like your star player just gets shat on constantly.
It's a bit more
because
messy
there's no
tackle. 'Cause
regulation.
you can't, if you wrap someone up in AFL, like you'll hug them and bring them down.
Yeah, whereas
But
Gaelic
Gaelic,
football,
there's
you can't
elbows
wrap
and
them
shoulders
up.
flying
Only
everywhere.
shoulder
Yeah.
charges.
But does the structure of the pitch, because it's a
rugby pitch,
rectangle.
yeah, rugby pitch,
So,
yeah.
but does that make it more structured in where the defenders are sort of
more
coming
linear.
from? Yeah,
Nah,
more linear.
It's kind of the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
But then we came over here and I was like, shit, there's an interchange. This is beautiful.
yeah.
Let me off.
so why do you think,
That
like when we
anaerobic,
play
I didn't need that
international
aerobic.
rules, like half-half, we always win?
Ireland, it's just the ball. I'm pretty sure the ball.
So you just think it's too
Yeah, it's the
different
skills,
and we
yeah.
can figure out Gaelic
yeah,
football?
yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yes, I just had to get that was
Who
interesting.
else? That's two. We have Brian O'Driscoll. He's a Irish rugby legend.
Bald?
Nah, that's Paul O'Connell, I think.
Okay, I'm thinking of two props because we used to play heaps of the
That's-
rugby game
Oh,
in
2000.
2003.
Oh, was that early?
Yeah, and
That
they
was
were-
That's
There were
Hook.
two.
Hook, his name is?
Yeah, they were beasts, those guys.
Brian O'Driscoll. Dan Carter.
Yeah,
He's
nice.
a
He's a
nice
good one.
I
Beast.
mean, he's that 4.
He still looks like he could. Well, he's going to play in Japan this year, I
Yeah,
think.
he's a weapon.
Throw
Weapon.
Dylan Dennis in there. He's
Nah, not yet.
honourable Irishman.
And Tiger Woods. He was my
Fuck.
hero growing up.
Respect for having like heaps of Irish people in there.
Yeah,
That's good.
Tiger Woods is a good one.
yeah.
'Cause if I was doing a top 5, there'd be like, I don't know if there'd be any Aussie athletes in there.
Well, I had Trevor Hendy in there.
They
Oh, and
dogged
Rod
us.
Silver, the GOAT.
Was
Bulldogs
he?
fullback.
Oh, fair enough. Fair
Yeah.
enough.
But even if I had a new top 5, I don't know.
Was he
Yeah.
even good, but?
No, I reckon he's the greatest player to never play Origin. But I think I was biased.
Yeah, probably.
Rod Silver, he was lightning.
Yeah.
He was the GOAT. He still plays. He plays in one of my old clients' Oz tag teams
Fuck,
over
that's
50s
crazy.
in the Australian team. Yeah, apparently he's like insane shape, which I loved hearing.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right, next question. What do you want him with next? See if we get an Irish rap artist.
Oh, yeah. Who is a rapper you would have rap about you, and what would they say?
Don't know, maybe Eminem because he's white.
Yeah,
Just, it would seem a bit like, can't we have someone from the Bronx rapping about me?
Yeah, true.
Some vanilla boy from Dublin.
Did you hear Juice WRLD died this morning?
I did.
21.
That's fucking heavy.
Yeah.
Did you listen to Juice WRLD?
Nah.
He was
It's
here
fucking-
2 weeks ago.
Serious?
No, I
Yeah,
thought
yeah.
he was coming.
No, I'm pretty sure he was like legit at the Horden 2 weeks ago, and then he was coming back.
He just turned 21.
Yeah, that's heavy at the
I have
airport.
gotten into English rap. I like Stormzy.
Oh,
and-
dude, Stormzy's good and funny too.
Yeah.
Oh, do you watch PAQ, the fashion show on YouTube?
Nah.
Oh, they did this thing where they dressed him. Anyway, if
We
you like
watched Top
Stormzy,
Boy.
that could be
Top Boy.
interesting.
I'm into Top.
I've got to watch it.
Yeah, get
That's
into it. Are you watching it in order?
Yeah, I finished already. Yeah.
Yeah, I watched Top Boy season 1 before I watched Summer House. Because
Yeah,
I heard
yeah,
that there were
yeah,
3
yeah,
seasons.
yeah,
I just
yeah.
looked up Top Boy
Yeah.
without realizing they did the change. It was a bit annoying. Because Top Boy season
You need to watch
Summer
it in order.
House is way grimier.
Yeah.
Like the new one's polished up a bit. They get some fresh
That's
kit and everything.
Kano's is a sick rapper as well. He's the guy that plays the main.
I'll have to watch
Is
it.
he
The
Top
main
Boy?
two guys. Nah, he's
Or
the other.
Jamie?
Yeah. He's
Yeah,
the other-
okay.
he's the tall guy, but he's actual like
Oh,
famous
really?
rapper. Yeah, his name's Kano.
Really?
That
What?
explains the fresh kit.
What
Yeah,
would
yeah,
he?
yeah.
All right. Well, maybe he'll rap about you.
Yeah,
then.
yeah,
What would
okay.
he say?
Maybe something along of Fresh Prince of Bel Air, Fresh Prince of Dublin. Maybe something like
That's
that.
it.
Some,
Yeah,
some players there.
yeah. There's some rhymes you can get in there.
There's
I
got
like
to be
it.
some great
Rap in Ireland, like
Yeah.
what's coming out of West Sydney.
some great Catholic rap or something.
Catholic rap, Protestant rap.
Yeah, like travelers rapping.
Is there any like Irish rappers, like full Irish?
Nah, not good ones.
That's more rock, hey?
Not even.
Well, there's just nothing in the
Just
arts
Irish
coming out of
music.
Irish.
Yeah, nah. You kind of Ireland's so small that when you do anything a bit outside the box, you just like there's a lot of begrudging in Ireland.
that's what David Gray seems to say about his. Oh, that's
It's like,
so
what is this
funny.
felt like? Even if you wear like emo clothes, like you're in a village with people,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
you
yeah.
like you can't get away with that. Something's good. Like
That's
full
why
in
he
line.
came over
we
here.
can't let that fly around. Yeah,
Would you ever go back
yeah.
to live?
I'd like to go in between. I'd like to do
Yeah.
like
Do the James Smith.
yeah,
6
do the
months, 6
private
months.
jet around.
Yeah,
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 6
yeah.
months. Somewhere. That's
That's the time to go.
That's the go.
I got to go to like
Yeah.
I've only been to London and It was good, but I'll need
Dublin's
to get
good.
out
Yeah.
more.
Dublin's
Yeah.
good.
All right, next question. This is, I'm assuming you'll have a good one. Death row meal.
Oh,
Bit jar of sauerkraut these days,
Maybe-
right? Lou does most of your cooking.
maybe Guillaume, the bistro,
Oh,
the
true.
steak. Oh, that burger.
Where's
Fuck,
this?
Him and Nige, dead set, I can rack up $1,000 a week at this bistro.
Yeah,
It's
Where is
actually
it?
crazy.
it's a French restaurant right beside our gym. You'd never even. It's a terrible location.
I walked past, I was like, "There's no way that'll be good." It'd be like they'll be doing $10 pub style steaks. It's not.
It's
worth
literally
my
one of the
time.
best restaurants I've ever been to.
I gotta go.
Yeah.
Because it was
What's it
under
called,
the old
did you say?
Suncorp building, so all the guys just coming down with the Platinum Amex, just whack, whack, whack every
Here's
lunchtime.
some culture. It's spelled Guillamine. So we're like Guillamine, but like
Giuliani?
No, Guillaume.
Guillaume. Oh,
Yeah.
jeez. French is
Guillaume.
hard.
Yeah.
That's like there's that new place Babylon on top of Westfield that like
Yeah.
it's in the worst location.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
apparently
yeah.
it's really good.
Really?
It's new. Yeah.
Well, we had
Babylon.
snails in the French restaurant for the first time. It's
Oh, I
culture.
couldn't do
It was
that.
unbelievable.
They're really
Nah,
just
no,
a
you'd be
vessel
surprised.
for garlic and parsley,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
then
yeah,
it's like
and some bread.
textural beyond that. It's like oysters if they weren't shit.
Yeah.
I
Which
like
have
oysters.
I have got into oysters since I had them at Guillaume.
So we were talking even like now, the chef. He's like a Michelin star chef.
He looks identical to Matt. If Matt Damon,
My Damon's on the juice.
yeah, it's ridiculous.
Really?
Yeah,
It's just a jacked.
It's a bit
version of
unfair.
Matt
I'm like,
Damon.
this guy's jacked, good looking, can
And
cook
he's a-
unbelievable meals.
And he's
Yeah.
gay.
No, he's not actually.
Oh, really?
That's
Is it?
carb-
Fuck,
carb
there you
nut.
go. He's got it all
yeah.
then.
Yeah, he has it all. And he'll just send out a spread of food when we go in there.
Yeah, no.
T-bone, sirloin.
Does he train in the gym
Trains
Yeah.
with Nige.
with the boys?
He made protein pancakes the other day. 25 eggs, egg whites, and like you're like, how does this protein pancake taste so good?
He's just the king.
So you're getting off the menu shit now.
We tasted what he eats in there. Yeah.
Ah, fuck,
That's
he must
awesome.
eat good.
Yeah, I'm bringing a few people there on Friday. A few of my clients.
Nice.
Yeah, nice.
And then the share challenge. If
Oh,
you
wait,
could
wait. Do you have a party trick?
Well, it
Party
doesn't matter
trick.
what fucking order we ask.
I thought that was a closing question.
no. Usually
It's
the death row
pensive,
meal's the closing
melancholy.
question.
All right, anyway.
We don't know what's going
It's
on our own
Mudfest.
show. Yeah, all right.
Party trick.
Yeah.
I used to just drink myself under the table till I had to like get someone to pull me out, but haven't partied proper in a while.
So you
Sounds
got nothing.
good.
You got
Yeah.
nothing you can pull out.
We'll
Yeah.
see. You've got Christmas party on Friday. We'll do something wild.
Yeah,
Yeah,
few
film it.
dodgy dance moves. That's
Yeah,
about it.
where are you? What do you guys? I actually don't disclose that. on
I
air.
won't tell you what we're doing. We're going to be at Manly Wharf Bar for a brief period of time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
nice. On Friday. Oh no, Friday. If you guys want a real good time,
Saturday.
North Sydney.
Yeah.
Jordan and a few of the boys are fighting at that North Sydney MMA card.
I might go to that. I actually
Yeah,
have to
I'll let you
piss
know
like
when
a
tickets.
pony.
All right, then the last question, the shirt challenge. If you could turn back time, what's something you would change?
Someone would change. Maybe finish uni quicker. It took me ages to finish university.
What did you study?
Psychology.
Here or?
Yeah, here.
Oh, nice.
But like, didn't have my shit together. I failed a few subjects.
Uni sounds heaps.
You know
hard.
Eric Thomas when he's like, took me 20 years to get
Yeah,
a 40
yeah,
degree.
yeah.
That's kind of me.
That was
like,
you. How many years was it?
I did it. Must have been 6
And you were
years.
PTing as well, your own business?
Yeah, both,
Oh,
yeah,
dude,
both.
fucking congrats.
Yeah.
I couldn't do one of those things at a time.
Yeah, at the start I was doing both very averagely.
Yeah.
But then over time I had to balance it a little bit better.
Fuck, you know when people say like, oh, like if you either go to uni 4 years or you
Yeah,
do a
yeah.
trade 4 years, you
Yeah.
start your own business 4 years.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, longer for me. Like it was real slow.
It's kind of good because then you know what you're going to do straight after.
yeah,
but
yeah,
like,
correct. And you obviously, well, I suppose you're doing it to a degree, psychology.
no,
with
yeah,
your
it's a good
clients.
niche to go off.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
habits and behavior change and
Everything like
yeah,
that.
it got me kind of into the subjects. You're like, oh, I can apply this to this client and this
Yeah.
client, but then you get like, oh, you have to do statistics, Mr. McGuinness. I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, well, that's taken me 4 times to do. How many times you allowed to do this? Fail?
I swear they just feel like you could. There's a lot of degrees you could do in 2 years, and
Yeah,
then maybe
yeah.
a year of like in the field, like a trade.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
they're
yeah.
like, oh, let's chuck statistics.
Well,
into
funny
this.
enough, psychology is like it's a degree where it's a people degree,
Mm.
but to get to clinical, it's only a few percent make it. You have to get unbelievable like
because that's
grades.
where you need to prescribe
But then-
drugs and stuff.
Yeah,
that's-
that's like the clinical setting.
Yeah.
But then, ironically, the people that get to be in that position to deal with the people are the ones that are like unbelievably book smart. So then they mightn't be blessed with
Yeah.
communication skills, which
Would
you
be vital,
absolutely
right?
need in
Yeah.
a clinical setting.
And then do they test you like because if you're taking on board people's heavy problems
yeah.
in some
Yeah.
circumstances, like super heavy,
Yeah.
do they sort of address that early on?
I think that you need to get like it's wise for you to get a psych as well, psychologist.
Yourself,
It's just like you to get a trainer. It's
Yeah,
probably best.
Interesting. Because I've like, we all have clients will tell us some shit and you're like, that's pretty heavy. I was like, probably won't ruin my day.
Again, like
but
anything else where like you're helping other people, you usually don't have your shit together.
Yeah. And do you tell clients that you have a background in psychology?
Yeah.
And they unload?
It's a bit... Yeah, it
And
helps.
they're like,
it helps.
all right, where's the high caps machine?
It helps. Yeah, it helps.
Yeah.
What do I get for all this money I'm paying you? Done
psychology.
this degree ages ago. You can use a bit of that if we need. But there's certain aspects you will use when you get someone in motivational interviewing, all these kind of stuff where they've studied in like clinical setting with people with drug addictions and alcohol addictions. You'll use as well.
Okay.
Was that your regret going to uni?
No, he should have done it quicker.
Motored through it,
It took me ages.
Yeah. There you go. That was solid. Plug what you got going on, business, what you got upcoming, all that sort of stuff.
I know,
do you want to book a consult? It's fucking $1 million.
Yeah,
His rates
it's only
every 6
like
months.
5,000 for 45 minutes. But,
that's good.
It's
Congrats.
tax deductible if you work for yourself.
Love it.
I just work. We do some face-to-face sessions. Have online clients. I'm pretty like, we always laugh. We hate the word I'm booked out. But like, because most people that say you're not booked out, don't be kidding. But I'm actually like for the quality of people that you need.
That's awesome.
For online coaching.
Yeah. But you can get around the Instagram videos. You're on
Good
the daily, you post a video, don't you?
Some good and dodgy videos online.
No, I like did you draw that yourself?
It's an app. I used to get my girlfriend to draw.
The drawings, I was like, sorry, bro. So I remember watching with Beck, and I actually, like, everyone who asked me, like, friends and family, like, how do I lose weight? I've got one of your videos saved, and I text it to them.
Yeah.
Like, I've probably texted it to 15 people. I'm like, I can't explain it simply better than this.
Well, that's at the start when we first started doing videos. In our head, we're like, this is great content. 1 like, 0 likes. Like, you don't get good engagement because, again...
the most basic
you're
thing that you
telling
think everyone already knows fucking breaks
So
the
it's such an art in itself of how can I get this real this simple information across in a way that is going to engage people, especially in today's world.
Well, that's like...
Everyone's just...
Even with us, like,
scrolling.
I'll post clips of this show that I think are absolutely either hilarious or great information, and it'll get, like, fuck all views, and then I post... One of us doing like a sprint drill, fucking 9,000 people shared or watched
Which is the annoying thing because I think I posted before. I don't really do any shirtless selfies.
Yeah.
I don't do it
But they
anymore.
get a lot of interaction. It's because some guys.
And ironically, I posted. I was like, "Don't listen to me because I'm already in good shape." Next minute, that's my highest liked post.
Yeah.
I'm like telling you not to like this post.
Yeah. I think like that though.
Yeah.
That's why I think like so many people put up heaps of annoying shit. Like there's a guy recently we know that's turned vegetarian. Guarantee his interactions gone through the roof.
Yeah.
Guarantee it because everyone's like, look at this.
Are you mates with Kai Green?
Kai Green? Oh, is he the same? He's gone
What do you
vegan.
mean? You just released some vegetarian muscle building.
Oh, no, I'm not talking about him.
Yeah. He went veggie for 2 days. Kai Green. He goes, "Here's my fucking ebook. Been in the trenches."
So if we didn't, no one would take us seriously. They'd be like, no.
It's just annoying because it's like,
well, you've done it years ago.
Yeah.
but that's what I mean. Go vegetarian any other day of the week.
Yeah.
You're doing it because Game Changers came out.
Well, now's the time to go pescatarian, I think.
See, when you go
hard on
halfway, they just
pescatarian.
try to fucking drag you the full way.
Yeah.
I was ranting about this before. It's annoying because we've got fucking idiots to the left, idiots to the right, carnivores on one side, vegans
Carnivores
on the other
the next
side.
diet.
But no,
I call it.
No,
but the
I think they've
vegans-
already washed over.
The vegans don't
Yeah, I
hassle
reckon,
the
I reckon.
carnivores because they know that they're out of reach. So they just hassle the fucking omnivores. And the fucking carnivores, they don't hassle the vegans because they know they're out of reach. So it's just omnivores in the middle. People either side.
Yeah,
trying
and
to
then
pull
you
in the
know
side
what's
of the
above?
direction.
Here's everyone else that uses vegans, carnivores, omnivores, pescatarians. Left alone.
There's idiots on both
maybe.
sides.
Because then they're eating a bit of meat, they're eating their veggies.
The carnivore diet's coming though.
pescatarians
Mark
eat
Bell
fish?
is going to fucking...
No, well, you guys both said that, but I
no.
reckon it's been washed over.
Jordan Peterson talks about it as well. Because I think his daughter had some kind of health issues. And the problem with most people don't talk about is when they do a
autoimmune
diet.
disease.
Yeah, no matter what it is, if it's keto, vegan, when you're in a calorie deficit, it's one of the best things you can do for your health. So all your health markers will improve when you do a calorie deficit diet, no matter which thing you use. So that's when people come and go, well, I've done this diet and look at all my health markers have improved. And the keto, vegan, carnivore, and whatever it is, and then kind of n equals 1, and they think that's the answer, but it's not really.
Rogan actually nailed it the other day. He was just talking about how
How much Rogan do you listen to?
about
Yeah.
approximately 15 hours a week. What? No, I'm kidding.
I swear you're listening, guys.
There's a trainer in our gym that just like
He loves Rogan.
Well, yeah, that's how he gives his nutritional information from Rogan. So it kind of
Fuck.
changes week to week.
At least he's getting a bit more diversity than just game changers.
Well, no,
we
it
love
was-
Rogan, but train nutrition wise, it's horrible.
That's
It's
the piss.
just
I only
painful.
listen to his fighting show.
But he was talking about just how the carnivores are like the canaries in the coal mine for the omnivores.
Yeah.
Like we're just watching them, waiting for them to drop to figure out if meat will actually kill you or not, because
That's pretty
they're
funny.
our sort of litmus test. And I got to admit as well, I actually hope that the carnivore diet turns out to be the thing. Fucking love steak.
Yeah.
About it.
I got a client who's a surgeon who pretty much only has done carnivore, but just because he likes steak. But I'm like, can you stop eating the cake with it? He's like, no.
Yeah.
Like
I'm
that.
keto. You sing a few beers every night. Yeah, okay. Sick.
Yeah,
That's good.
Because that's it. There's even like amongst the carnivore crowd, there's like.
Oh, he doesn't
the
declare as
dumb
a
take
carnivore.
on
He
that.
just only eats steak, and then you have like cake
Steak and
with
eggs.
dinner.
They give you
Not
legitimately
even
eat
eggs.
nose
Nah?
to tail.
Oh, dude, we're trying to sort
The
it out.
micronutrients. No good.
Mark Bell's throwing out his egg whites.
Oh no.
It's not the opposite.
I
He
love
just
egg
keeps the
whites.
yolks.
Have you guys? If I'm making an omelet now, I go one, like a full egg, just 3 egg whites for taste. I think it tastes so much better.
Well,
Yeah, I go just.
Hey, fucked.
again, this is why we feel bad for people in nutrition information. Like we can differentiate
Yeah.
what's kind of good and bad, but
Pick
for
your
most
own
people,
path.
they have no idea.
I just do it purely for taste, and it's beautiful.
There you
I
go.
feel like I'm
Eat
wasting
for
a lot of
taste
the egg.
and you'll
though.
be shredded.
Yeah.
Carnivore,
Bradley.
2020.
Yep. All right, there we go. Yeah, you've plugged everything. What's going on? That was a fucking good app. That was easy, man. Easy. Angus, you got any final words? Also, we're
online
gonna.
training still on sale. Looking like I'll get a couple of weeks free rent off my landlord.
Take off Sean's.
keeping everyone up to
He
date.
only
tail.
has 3 slots left, so just getting quick
Yeah, come
for
on, guys.
Chrissy
Yeah, and
for today only.
Yeah.
and I feel like we need to start saying when we're going to do the monthly wrap up. For December and announce guest of the year. So let's just lock in the date of the 28th.
Yeah, that works. I'll be in Sydney.
Yeah, perfect.
And train with these boys. They know what they're talking about. There's not many people
Thank
out
you
there.
for the plug. Yeah,
Yeah.
actually the first guest, but it's hard to
plug
plug
us.
Yeah, I see
Yeah.
these
Behind Woodford.
Angus every day. They know what they're talking about.
So he's not allowed
I'll have
to
you
give
crawling around on the ground.
They
doing all
sound
sorts
like
of weird shit.
relaxed stoners, but they're actually very smart individuals.
Yeah.
They'll get you strong.
Thank you. I appreciate it. You're a guest of the year now. All right, guys. We'll see you guys next time.
Nice. That was good.
Oh, fuck. Hold on. I hit the wrong button.